Doesn't feel real, does it? Thought we had a little more time, didn't ya? I did too.
In days, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents have deported a Cuban-born mother of a 1-year-old girl, separating them indefinitely. And in another case, they deported a 2-year-old girl who is a U.S. citizen, along with her Honduran-born mother. And all of this follows the deportation of a child with cancer who had been receiving treatment in the U.S.
Hello everyone, my name is Francis, and welcome to the Anti-Fascist Atlas. Cute little rebrand, huh? On April 18th, I uploaded a video where I explicitly said that America had reached the Rubicon, that the deportation of a U.S. citizen would be the point of no return in America's descent into fascism. It took the Trump administration exactly 1 week to cross that line. Last Friday, the Trump administration deported 3 U.S. citizens, children, to Honduras. 1 7-year-old, 1 4-year-old receiving cancer treatment, and 1 2-year-old. These children were deported with their mothers. Now, these are 2 separate cases. However, in both cases, the families were denied access to their lawyers. And within 24 hours, these families were detained and then deported, not once being allowed to speak to their lawyers. In case I have to spell it out for you, this is obviously very fucking illegal. Now, the United States government is arguing that the mother of the 2-year-old child requested that the child be deported with her. However, there is very little reason to believe them. According to the lawyer representing these families, neither of the mothers wanted their kids deported with them. The fact that one of the kids literally was receiving cancer treatment in the US and that both families already had other family inside the US that was capable of taking care of the kids lends this claim quite a bit of credibility. No matter how we might feel, that doesn't change the fact that we are now here. There's no turning back now. You might, of course, contest me on this point. Maybe you don't think we've stepped over the line yet. But the level of cruelty being displayed here is so utterly deplorable that it feels satirical. Deporting a 2-year-old, 7-year-old, and 4-year-old child with cancer? As much as I love The Onion, you cannot write a more insane headline than that. I mean, they're quite literally arresting judges, deporting student activists for political protest. The conditions in ICE camps have reached such abhorrent lows that detainees are literally making SOS signs in the prison yards. And now they've even begun deporting U.S. citizens. Fascism is now here. Our institutions have completely failed us in every capacity. And as the Rolling Stone so eloquently put it, everyone who was supposed to protect you from this has failed miserably. So, now what? Now that we're here, what is the right thing to do? Well, I can tell you that the answer certainly isn't to pledge allegiance to the Burger Reich out of fear. Fascists have always weaponized fear and violence in order to take and consolidate power. Mussolini's road to power was paved by the black shirts. Hitler employed the use of the SA, and fascist Spain had the camisas azules. Fear is employed as a tool for fascists in 2 major ways. Fascists first stoke fear in the general public, often by employing scapegoats. Instead of pointing the finger at the bourgeois for their culpability in the failure of the Weimar Republic, Nazis instead stoked fear about the Jews and the communists. They then spread conspiracy theories about a fabricated document that originated in Imperial Russia called the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, and used the Reichstag fire in order to create a reason for the Nazis to totally consolidate power and suspend all civil liberties. The far right still tries to stoke these exact same fears today about Jews, communists, and even college campuses, and this fear-mongering is rooted in a neo-Nazi conspiracy called cultural Marxism. The second way fear is employed by fascists is as a tool of silencing opposition. In the later days of the Weimar Republic, the brown shirts marched around Germany, violently attacking political opponents, mainly communists and socialists, at first. Ultimately, these acts of violence weakened the political power, but also the morale of these factions, who were the biggest opposition to the Nazis. And after the Nazis took power, how many people in Nazi Germany had wished they could have done something, but were too afraid to? Totally giving in to fear is exactly what the fascists hope you'll do, because that is the only way fascism can succeed. When I say that we have crossed the Rubicon, that we've crossed the point of no return, that doesn't mean everything is lost. It doesn't mean that it's time to give up. It means that there is no longer any room to deny that fascism is here, and that our institutions are failing to stop it. And it means that we, the people, must rise to meet the occasion. And I believe that we are capable of doing so. Over the past few years, we have seen countless examples of the organizational capabilities of the people. From tens of thousands of students digging their heels in and creating encampments all across the country in defiance of an ongoing genocide, to major strikes increasing in the US by 280% in 2023. From the steady growth of mutual aid groups since the pandemic to the great resignation of 2021. The working class is powerful, just as it always has been. We now stand at a pivotal moment in the history of the world, and although the threat before us is terrifying, we must be brave. And I believe that when we have beaten back the forces of fascism and hatred, we will be able to build a much brighter world, not only for ourselves, not only for our loved ones, but for the generations that follow. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Special thanks once again to Samus for editing today's video, and also to Sky for the history consultation. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and commenting. It's one of the best ways to support what I do. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Peace.